Guys, I want to tell you about Mando. It's the whole body deodorant you can use anywhere. Mando was created by a doctor who saw how regular BO was getting misdiagnosed and mistreated. Clinically proven, Mando will keep you fresher longer than soap alone. Check this out. Mando Solid Stick is powered by mandelic acid, crushing odor before it even starts. They've got an aluminum-free spray as well for those hard-to-reach spots. And forget about parabens and baking soda. Mando is free of all that junk. You can choose from fresh scents like bourbon leather, cloverwood, Mount Fuji, or Pro Sport. Me, I'm a bourbon leather guy. I gotta tell you, it's bold and strong, just how I like it. If you're new to Mando, let me suggest, try the starter pack. You get a solid stick. It comes with a cream tube and 2 free products of your choice. Plus, when you use my code, you will get free shipping. When you check out, just use the code CHAEL. That'll get you $5 off, which is over 40% off, plus the free shipping I mentioned. So hit up shopmando, shopmando.com. Use code CHAEL and use Mando head to toe. Guys, Mando's got you covered, and frankly, so's Uncle Chael. Well, I waited a minute, guys. I did not bring to you Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, and I didn't really dig into that. And everything is so clear in hindsight, right? All of life. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, you knew it was going to happen. Did you bet on it? If you did not bet on it, do not come and ever tell anyone ever you knew it was going to happen. Even if you thought it. Shut up. You're annoying. I knew this was going to happen. No, I really did. I knew this was going to happen. And I didn't bet on it. But I didn't bet on it because it felt like the fix was in. There is nothing that Jake Paul can do where we do not question ahead of time, during, and after. And it is so unfair. I mean, if anybody has come into a dirty, filthy industry like this one and told us the truth, it's Jake Paul. Jake Paul is man of the year for boxing. He was man of the year last year. Jake Paul promoted this event, did record numbers, got an entire distribution network known as Netflix to believe in him, got a partner in Mike Tyson. But one thing that Jake Paul does, he gets up in the loft, but he doesn't pull the ladder up behind him. He always leaves the ladder down so someone else can get up. I mean, yeah, I'm going to Katie and I'm going to Amanda. The greatest fight I've ever seen in women's, and then you can stop right there. MMA and combat and judo. I followed all that stuff. Followed Kayla through the Olympic Games and followed Ronda's run before that. I followed Sarah McMahon to her medal before that. Sarah Hildebrandt this year. Oh gosh, good names. And I'd never seen anything like this. Followed all of Layla Ali's fights. My daughter's middle name is Layla, named after the beautiful and wonderful Layla Ali. I feel like I'm thinking right now. I'm trying to buy myself some time because, yeah, it's a literal statement. I've never seen a fight like this. And I'm using that word specifically, fight. And they got put on display. That is the most heavily watched women's boxing match of all time. World record. They got it wrong. They robbed poor Amanda. That's a different story. Robbed her 2 different ways. Even without the point deduction, she won that fight. With the point deduction, we have nothing to talk about here. It's a formality. Jump in the ring, do the interview, put Helwani in there, get the belt around her, move him out so we can bring in the main event. They took the fight from her. My goodness, they took the fight from her. And you get to the main event. Everything was so clear on the walkout. Tyson stumbled on the walkout. I'm not teasing him. Tyson stumbled on the walkout. And they pulled the camera back. And by the way, though, the walkout was very relevant because he looked 30 years older than he did 2 days earlier at Open Media Day. He looked 30 years older than he did the day before on the scale. And sometimes that's lighting, guys, right? Sometimes you get picked up at a different angle and it just happens to be showing your wrinkles. That's true. But I was starting to think, maybe they put makeup on him. You know, for the earlier stuff, very, very common. You'll go into something, you got TV, somebody brings some makeup on you. I mean, there might have been somebody behind the scenes that realized this guy looks old. You could put a 58-year-old in there all day. He just can't look 58. Right? I know 26-year-olds that move around like they're 58. Yes, Keith Jardine, I'm talking about you, but Keith. I said to be funny towards Keith, but I will tell you, is that what happened? Because that's kind of interesting to me. When Mike Tyson walked through that tunnel and he stumbled, everything became so blatantly obvious. They pulled the camera back. He's wearing a knee pad. In my life, I've never seen that. I'm sure it's happened. I have never seen a boxer wear a knee pad. Not in practice, not in training, not on the heavy bag in his garage, not ever, ever, ever. And the announcers didn't touch it. That was weird. The fact that the announcers never said anything about the stumble or the knee pad. And you can let the stumble go. You should. The knee pad would just bring a question. It would be simple. There's nothing inappropriate about it. There's nothing against the commission. There's nothing against the rules. We let guys fight with hurt knees all the time. I'm sharing with you in an upright posture of boxing. I've never seen it. And I don't think they have either, but they didn't touch on it. And that's what made it suspicious. The whole reason that it stood out as, hey, there's more to this is the fact that they ignored it like it wasn't happening. And I do wonder about the makeup. In all fairness, no conspiracy here. I'm just sharing with you that would be interesting. If there was somebody that realized Mike looks old and we need to make him look young, that's TV 101. But is that what they did? Why did he look so old in the walkout? Then he gets in there and he goes out and fights. And a combat athlete's biggest fear is not losing. It's not the outcome. It's not anything other than a fear of reaching exhaustion. The combat athlete's biggest fear is that he will fatigue and he can't finish the match. It's every wrestler's biggest fear. Can I get through this? And Mike had that. Mike was scared to death by the parameters of the fight. And he switched over to what we call a moral victory. But he switched over there about 3 minutes and 10 seconds into the fight. He switched to, I do not have the energy, I don't have the skill or the speed to beat this young man. But I got to make it 8 rounds, including if this young man starts to take mercy on me. However I got to do it to get there, it's the best thing that I can get now. Now that I've been confronted with the new information. And that's what every time the guy throws a punch at you, every step that he takes, every round that goes by, every combination that's done, you're downloading and you're processing information. And Mike got the information about the 3-minute mark, which is that I cannot go with this guy and I cannot beat this man. That's when he switched over to the moral victory. And I'm okay with all of those things. I'm just sharing for you that that's what happened, because there's a lot of talk after the fight that it was corrupt or it was set up. There's even a video out there where Mike looks like he has a punch, but he kind of pulls it back. And it's just a misunderstanding. There was no punch that Mike had that he pulled back. He lifted that to do a setup with the complete other arm. And before he threw it, Jake Paul had moved, so he ended up throwing neither arm. And I understand that I lost you on that. There's not very many people that know boxing. Frankly, be glad you don't know boxing. If you know boxing and you spent time in a boxing gym or you even got into a boxing ring, it's because something in life did not go well for you. Every dirty, rotten cage fighter had something happen somewhere. So don't feel bad that you don't know boxing. But, it's very ridiculous to see 2 guys in an ass-whipping contest, and you, who's never done one or trained it, look at a video that you saw some other jobber do from his mother's basement on TikTok, and he happened to get a dial-up connection and be able to post it to social media. I mean, not for nothing, there was no fix in there. There's nothing corrupt about that. And if you ever think that Mike would go into a work fight, and the most honorable men amongst us will go into a work fight as long as the other guy's working. As long as you're going over, it is your entire goal to get that opponent so rattled before the fight that he doesn't want to do it anymore and that he comes and makes a deal in the back. No different than a kid on recess. But to go and look at Mike's performance and not understand that what you saw in those punches that you didn't see or the power that you thought wasn't there, you are seeing a man who is exhausted. And be careful going around the office or going around the school and telling people this, that you saw this. Because There's someone in every room, and he might not identify himself, but you just identified yourself. And that someone in the room now took you off the board of potential tough guys he's going to have to deal with. If you don't understand the level of exhaustion that Mike was at and why he shut down, it means that you've never so much as stood up, moved your coffee table, and started throwing punches at the air for up to a minute. There was nothing weird about that fight in terms of a corruption. You had Mike Tyson that had 2 goals. Goal number 1, beat Jake Paul. Jake Paul took that goal away from him and pivoted to survival before the second round was over. That's just what happened. And there's nothing inappropriate about it. Whether you like it or not, it's very normal.